I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Well, family, here we are. Blessed to see another day. Yes, we are on Monday, January 8th. That is, I'm grateful for it. I know you are too. I'm grateful for the fact that Nick and I get to spend some time, some spirit, and some space with all of you. Yes, I am. There's so much taking place these days. So much taking place these days. And we're going to get into a little bit of that in our second hour. We are. We have got to talk about everything going on. We'll do that in the second hour. And I can't wait until tomorrow to talk about the Eagles, our birds. But for now, how are you making out? I hope that you are prepared for this storm that is expected to hit Philadelphia tomorrow. We're supposed to get some strong winds and heavy rain. Yuck. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready. How was your weekend and your day? You know that I want to know it all. I always ask. I always want to know how you're doing, how things are coming along with and for you. I hope that you are having a great day on purpose. I really do. And to that point, happy birthday to all of our love bugs who are celebrating, especially if you are celebrating on today. If you're celebrating your birthday today, we're sending you so much love. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Family, a few things that I want to share with you. Join Word in partnership with Global Citizen and the Greater Philadelphia Martin Luther King Day of Service for the largest King Day service event in the nation, as we broadcast live from the Girard College Armory on Monday, January 15th from 7 a.m. until 10 a.m. Solomon Jones, our beloved, will be our host for this signature broadcast featuring special guests, information, solutions, and more. So keep it locked, family, right here on Word Radio for more information. I've got a quick question for you, too. Have you checked out Cafe Mocha yet? I've been asking you. Tune in to Cafe Mocha every Sunday from 8 until 10 p.m. Cafe Mocha it's radio from a woman's perspective. Check out the flavor from the hosts, comedian and actress Lonnie Love, hip hop legend Yo Yo, and broadcast veteran Angelique Perrin, as they all bring their own point of view to today's issues, social commentary, celebrity interviews, and self help advice. Family, all of this wrapped in soundtracks of urban contemporary music. That's Cafe Mocha. Sundays at 8 p.m. only, right here on Word, Progressive Black Talk Media. So, family, if you are joining us by way of socials, let us know. Share a comment or a few. You can even give us a call, and you can do that by dialing 215 634 8065. You can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866 361 0900. That's right. That's right. That's if you want to share some love with us verbally. Nick and I are always grateful for the love that you do share. Any way you care to share it. Any way you care to share it. That's right. That's right. So before we go further, family, for those of you whose hearts are just a little heavy today, just know that I'm sending you extra love and hugs. Yes, I am. On behalf of your entire tribe and village, just so you know that you are not alone, okay? Just know that you don't have to do this by yourself. No, you don't. No, you don't. You are loved, and we are here for you. All right, family, let's get started. Ooh. I do want to share that some of our family members are checking in. Malcolm. Hey there, Malcolm. Malcolm White is checking in, and he shares that he is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Good evening to you, good sir. He's sending a good evening and some love to the entire family. Brennan Williams is joining us as well, and he shares peace and blessings with the entire Word family. And also praise that the week is off to a great start. Let me tell you, I will not complain. I have no complaints. Gary Bryant is checking in. Hey there, brother Gary. He's sending a good evening to everybody, and we receive it and send it right back to you. Nicole P is checking in as well, and she's sharing love, much love to the entire family. You know we send it right back to you, beautiful. We appreciate that. Craig, hey there, Craig Williams. He is sending a good evening to everybody. We receive it. You know we do. You know we do. All right, family. So I want you to meet this exciting and interesting guest that we have in this hour. He is a distinguished R&B soul artist hailing from right here, the heart of Philadelphia. He's captivated audiences with his raw, soulful vocals, a product of the vibrant neighborhoods of Mount Airy, Germantown, and Chestnut Hill. He has honed his craft at the High School for the Creative and Performing Arts, otherwise known as Kappa. Y'all know, y'all already know. Family, I invite you to the conversation with Jordan Brown. Well, hello there, good sir.
Hi, how are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I've been better, but I'm really happy to be here. I was really sick this past weekend.
No. Oh, one of those bugs got you.
Yeah, got me. At least it got me now rather than later. I feel like I have some immunity or something now.
This, you know what? This is true, right? Not when you're on the road or something, or you've got a ton of shows coming up or something.
I did have this, and I have an IG Live performance I'm doing tomorrow, but I'm just gonna give a Lauryn Hill unplugged type performance, because I don't know if you can hear it, but it's definitely still in there.
I hear a little. I hear a little. Oh, well, how about thank you? You know what? An even bigger thank you for just joining us and coming to spend some time with us. Because when I tell you, I overstand. I know how that feels when you do not feel well.
I knew you would, which that felt nice. I feel like I was coming to talk to somebody who would fully understand.
Listen, you don't want to blink, let alone talk to somebody when when you don't feel well. And so I'm okay. I'm going to put my mother hat on. So you got all your herbs and you got everything you need.
I do a lot of liquid.
Okay.
It wasn't so much in the throat. It was just body. I was just fatigued, and I'm coming out of it, but I'm just still, I'm on like 5% battery,
Oh, okay, Jordan. We won't stress you then. We won't
Oh,
stress.
no, it's no stress. It's filling me up to be in here, so it feels good.
Well, listen, I'm excited to share you with the rest of the family and
Mm,
welcome a new family member into
mm,
the brood, especially being from Philly. How about that? How about that? So
yeah.
okay, so this past weekend, let me ask you this because now I'm still in my mother bag.
Mm.
Did you get enough rest?
I didn't. I just could not sleep, and yeah, I haven't been that sick in a while. And they're always like, come get your flu shot. And sometimes I do, and sometimes I really don't. They asked me
Okay.
to get my flu shot like 2 weeks ago or something, and I really feel like I would not be in this predicament if I had just gotten it.
Let me tell you, Jordan, I have not gotten a flu shot. I
Okay, okay, okay.
don't get them. I don't get
Uh-huh.
them. I don't trust them.
Yeah.
Family, I
Really.
don't trust them. Okay, so I
Mhm,
don't get them, but I listen, I can relate and I can identify when you
mhm.
start thinking, you're like, oh,
In
when
hindsight,
you do
right?
get ill, you're right. But I still don't get it. I don't want it and I don't get it.
I know. It's one of those things. It's just like both my parents were nurses growing up, so I feel like it just like started me young on
Right.
flu and cold and even just like pain meds. Like it was very casual just to like take some ibuprofen, and I don't even want to do that anymore.
I don't.
And I work on a community garden, and my girlfriend really got me into growing food and then herbalism. So it's like I've gone even further away from
Yes.
those sorts of things. But
Well,
yeah,
kudos
like,
to her. Kudos to
oh
you
yeah,
as well for being open to it.
oh yeah. I feel like I
See,
always wanted to, but she just kind of unlocked it for me.
I love that. I love that. So you have some what are you growing in your garden? Let me ask you that.
It's a lot of Southeast Asian vegetables, mostly vegetables, but then just all the regular things, the kale, the tomatoes, a
Mhm,
lot of melons, like
mhm.
vegetable melons. We have a little herb garden, and that's what we were using to make like tinctures and just have teas and herbs
Yep.
for ourselves. But it's a half-acre lot in
Wow.
Camden. So it's like 15 minutes from South Philly, and we like teach kids how to grow food, like high school students. And then it's a community garden. There's like neighbors from the surrounding blocks who have like their own little plots, their little
Um,
raised beds. So it's just community garden thing, but
wait. You said we teach kids. Can you teach some of us adults? 'Cause we we're not doing that. Can you teach me? Like, wait a
yeah,
minute.
actually we've talked about that sort of thing, like even bringing our parents, like all the people who work
Mm,
there, bringing our parents in,
yes.
and just how much there are. I think my girlfriend's brought it up a lot because it's like her, the farm is like her baby, but
Yeah.
it's a part of a bigger organization that's like a
Mhm,
nonprofit. But she's often said that there's a lot of things for kids and like teenagers, but there's not that
mhm.
many things for adults to like get involved with. And
Well, Jordan, we're the biggest kids, okay? We
mhm,
need this
yeah,
knowledge
I,
too. We are the biggest kids, so the adults need it too. Hey there, family. Just saying a hello to you. If you have just joined us, welcome. You're tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. We are talking with Jordan Brown in this hour, and he's sharing with us about his journey thus far. Let me tell you something. I'm already interested in
mm.
it. And okay, he's an artist, but I'm interested in the rest of what's going on in his life. He's got a garden. What? I need to know all about this. We do have some more family members that are joining us. Willie, hey there, my love. Willie Matthew Williams is joining us. Willie, okay, he's sharing that he's still in town. You know I'm calling you. And I was so happy to see you too over the weekend. We had so much fun. Too much fun, okay? Y'all noticed I didn't tell you about that. We had too much fun. Art Taylor, hey there. Welcome back. Arthur Leo Taylor is joining us. Happy new blessings, happy new beginnings, happy new year to you too, Arthur. And thank you. Heather Wilson, hey there, boop. Hi there. Just saying a hello. Yep. Okay, I'm doing an evening check-in because she didn't do her morning check-in. I love it. I love it. I Love it. And she says, yes, we are the biggest kids. We most definitely are. So you've got to keep us in mind, Jordan, you and little missus. Craig. Craig shares he gets every vaccination out there. Oh, he, he shares, I ain't playing. I know that. Craig, I ain't playing with none of this. I get it all. Whatever they tell me, that's what I get. Brother Nasir is joining us. Hi there. He's sharing peace and blessings with us all. You know we receive it and we send it right back to you as well. As does Henry Purefoy. Hi there. Welcome. So Jordan Brown, to be exact, is our guest in this hour. And he just shared with us about wellness, I will say, his wellness journey. Let me tell you, I'm so jealous. So are you a vegan or a vegetarian, or do you?
No, it's funny, like my grandmother a couple years ago just said like a saying that I've heard a million times about things just being in moderation, like all things in moderation. And for some reason when she said it, it just hit a little different. But I really don't want to be like an extreme anything, like one side of anything. So yeah, I eat meat and everything. Yeah, I'll try some vegan things,
Jordan, oh my goodness. I promise you, I feel like you're speaking my spirit right now. I just had this conversation maybe a day or two ago because I was talking about, just eating habits and some things, but I don't know that I eat, well, I was eating a lot of rice. I will say that, family, I will. But I was acknowledging and accepting that I need to make some changes because I need to do some more things. I need some more greens. That's what I do need, but I need to balance it. I need a better balance. So, but I definitely need more greens. And as soon as I said it, so I've been eating spinach every day, but I love kale, spinach, but I love my greens. So I don't know why I don't eat.
I'm gonna have to come hook you up with something this summer, spring, when things are growing, because
don't
I
you
feel
threaten
it.
me with a good time, because I'm going to reach Jordan. I'm
No, we will stay in
not.
touch. I think I found you on Instagram and we have some mutual friends. So I'll be able to reach out to you. I'll come bring you a little box.
Oh, listen. Thank you in advance. So family, I was sharing with you that Jordan is an R&B soul artist, and he is from right here, our hometown of Philadelphia. And we wanted you to know, because listen, Philly is like it's like potluck. We have everything here in the tri-state. If you definitely in Philly, but in the tri-state, we have a little bit of everything, which is why I love our city so much, because we have so many colors. That's what I like to call it. We have so many colors, so much culture here. And I was sharing with our family members that you honed your craft at Kappa. I feel so jealous. Everybody did, but me. Everybody did.
Really?
What
Did you want to go? Did your parents not let you, or is there a story?
They did not. No, they did not. I was my mother. So I had an interest at first in drama and acting. I went to Freedom Theater when I was very young, but I was so shy. I was so shy. I barely spoke.
Surprising.
Yeah, how about that? Because I haven't shut up yet, right? But I was so shy, and when I fell into singing, but I loved it so much, and I loved just being able to express myself and release myself in music. That in high school I was just learning that. My mother said, no, you're going to go to this all girls Catholic high school. That's where you're going to go. And so that's where I went. And my father, he didn't have a fight. He didn't know. My mother said it was word. It was bond. So that's where I went. I went to Hallahan.
Okay.
High School. Yeah, that's where I went. So I'm curious to know, what sparked your interest in singing?
So I come from a big immediate family. I have 6 older sisters. And I just feel like my sisters there was just so much music in the house between them and their friends. And my mom and my dad were both like big music lovers also. And then I went to church. My stepdad, I think like around like 5 years old, my stepdad had us going to the Seventh-day Adventist church. and it was church on the seventh day, Saturday, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I was trying to remember which one it is because I would always miss the Saturday morning cartoons. And my other friends were going to church on Sunday, and I'm like, oh man, I'm really missing out. Like, this is unfortunate. I remember being bitter about that, but I learned how to sing in church. I don't really like, I think about this a lot, like trying to figure out where the passion or like the desire to do it came
Mhm.
from. Cause I was 5 and I sang He's Got the Whole World in His Hands in front of the whole church by myself.
Oh.
And I forgot the lyrics, and the church helped me finish the song. And there's like,
Oh.
my stepdad had a recording of it, like a tape that I never saw, and I think it's lost. And I would just wonder, like, now
No.
these kids nowadays, everything that they ever done gets recorded on someone's phone, and
Yeah.
but that tape is lost out there somewhere. But yeah, it really started with church. And I don't consider myself like really religious or anything,
Mhm.
but I did get that experience from church. That first, I
The
do owe my
seed was
singing.
planted.
Mm-hmm.
I love that though. See, that's divine orchestration.
Mm.
Family, hey there, talking with you. If you have just joined us, and even if you haven't, welcome. You're tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are going to take just a short commercial break, but know that the phone lines are still open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. We will be right back.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. Word's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. The Chambers of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia is hiring a research analyst. Penn Community Bank is hiring a customer service representative. For more information on these jobs and others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative, brought to you by Word Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Thank you for calling Penny, Pennsylvania's health insurance marketplace. How can I help?
Hi, so I was on penny.com. I know it's open enrollment for health coverage, but I'm worried about the cost and my prescriptions.
Don't worry. Penny gets you the lowest cost on high-quality health coverage.
Oh, awesome. Let's get started.
Just need a little... Enroll now. Special extension until January 19th at penny.com. That's PENNIE.com. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
When you take a walk around your neighborhood and notice all the things that make it feel like home, like all the houses lined neatly together in a row, or your neighbor, Miss Rita, who always waves at you when you drive down the street, or that movie theater in the strip mall that might look a little worn down, but has the best popcorn you've ever tasted. One thing might be a little harder to notice, because somewhere tucked in that neat row of houses is hunger. It could be your next door neighbor, or your coworker, or your daughter's friend from school, because over 30 million Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. Hunger lives in neighborhoods all around us, but it doesn't have to. Together, we can provide 1 billion meals by 2030, because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com from Acme Markets, Palucci's, and King's Foundations. Let's break the cycle of hunger together.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Jordan Brown, who is one of our local gems, and we're talking about his journey in the industry thus far. I do want to share that our family members are commenting. Nasir, Nasir shares that he made navy bean soup for the weekend. Let me tell you something. I had butternut squash. That's what now I didn't make it. Okay. I can't boast that, but I was happy I did. What I did make though, and it was I kept having it was I had it all weekend. I made salmon, I sauteed some spinach, and y'all know I love beets. I will eat them right out of the jar. But I had the jar is almost gone because I ate them. I ate them all weekend. But beets are a snack for me. I know some of you are saying, ooh, but I love them. I just had some before we went on air. But that's what I had the majority of the weekend, and my butternut squash soup. Ooh, don't you threaten me with a good time. Alfred is sharing he's got so many meetings to start the year. But he just wanted to give a shout out to Love and Life. That's love right there. We receive it and we're sending it right back to you. Nasir, I see you clowning me. I know that's because I said I haven't shut up. I haven't. I know I really haven't. And Miss Lily is joining us. Hi, beautiful. She's sending love and we're sending love right back to you. So, Jordan, I'm curious to know. I shared with our family members that you attended Kappa, and we know that Kappa is a school that boasts a great alumni. So from your experiences, how would you say Kappa has influenced your development as an artist?
I have like very, very mixed, interesting feelings, mostly good feelings for sure. But I would say overall, like the things I learned the most at that school were from the people there. The people who were older. Of course, the music teacher, Dorina Morrow, was amazing. But I think the program, just like going to a school like that in the city with this rich history that we have here, I really expected it to be like more musical. Like we didn't have a recording studio. There wasn't a lot of like opportunities for like Black music, like R&B. We mostly just learned like from the vocal department aspect. We were just learning classical music theory, and some like just singing in different languages. And I did learn a lot from that. But I think when I hear about these other schools, these types of creative arts schools in other cities, they're like full-fledged music programs with like diverse offerings. And I think Philly has trouble with money in the public schools, and a lot of our funding came from places where they wanted us to do certain types of music. They want us to do certain types of things. So I think there were some limits there, but it was a little disappointing in that regard. But it's still funny just to see, it was a hub for creativity and to meet people from other art forms, and then just to meet other singers.
Right.
And so many amazing people have come out of the school, even ones that I was there with,
Right. I'm sorry to have interjected.
No.
And I was sharing that I did not attend Kappa, but you could not have. First of all, I never even asked you. The first person I've asked this question, so I was unaware that Kappa did not have a dedicated music program, specifically one that would help to showcase different genres of music. That's very interesting to me. Very, very interesting.
And I still don't think they have something like that, or like a music business class. I think a lot of it was like, oh, we're learning to be music teachers. It was not learning to be an artist. So that was a little disappointing. I would say overall, like people might say otherwise, but I don't think they could really like combat me too much on that.
Well, the proof. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
You're right. The proof is there. So let me ask you this: what's your favorite genre of music, or do you have one?
Wow. I mean, R&B is just there. I feel like R&B has changed so much.
Definitely has.
Yeah. I mean, it's like pop now.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, and then there are these new things of like alternative R&B, and I think that's really exciting because it's like pushing the boundaries of it. But I really, when I think of my earliest music memories of R&B, it's like Donny Hathaway and like Motown, and even like the gospel music that was around. Like, it was a lot of Kirk Franklin, which when I tell my friends from the South that I listen to Kirk Franklin as gospel, they like make fun of me. But that's where my introduction was.
I was about to say, Jordan, yeah, I can understand why.
Yeah. But Kirk's
Especially
good.
if you stop there. If you don't say, if you don't give a
I think I don't know a whole lot of. I'm really bad with names, honestly. I know a lot of songs, and I know a lot of people's faces, but I do not know a lot of names.
That is hilarious. You sound like me. That is hilarious. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
okay. Maybe it's
I
a
know a
singing
lot of
thing.
faces. I don't know a lot of names. I know the music though. If I hear a song, like, oh,
There's the
I love that
energy.
song. And yeah, that's
The energy
exactly
thing.
what there's a spirit attached to it. And you
Mhm.
recognize it. You can identify it, like, oh, I love this song. I don't know who it is. I don't know the name. But I know this song.
Yeah, we must have something similar there. We pick up on that, and it remains a little longer, you know.
Well, I think as creatives though.
Yeah,
Because we are, listen, this is our ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're working in your ministry, there's a different focus that
Mm-hmm.
we have. So I can identify with that. So I can. So, okay, coming from a city and an area, meaning the tri-state area, that is so rich in talent, you spoke toward it yourself, and entertainment. Do you ever feel pressured by that?
Yeah, it's funny. I was doing some like jazz gigs out of high school at like Chris's Jazz Cafe,
Love
and
Chris's.
working with a really good friend of mine, Dahi Divine, who was like in the jazz scene in Philly a bit, and then he went to the New School in New York, and then just traveling other places and meeting people. I realized like Philly had so much talent. Like, I had to like leave Philly to realize how talented folks are. So like the baseline here is like something really amazing in another city, you know? And that made me look at all the people I knew like in a different light. But it also made me feel like, I feel like I know really talented people. So it's hard for me to say somebody else is like really talented. Like, I feel like the bar is set high. Like Philadelphians, it's people talk about coming to Philly and doing shows and like not being able to really impress the crowd, but that's just because like we're hard to impress. We've seen a lot. I don't know if there's a little something else there, like we can be a little reserved sometimes as an audience. And I have seen it with my own eyes, and I was like, oh man, like that's exactly how I am. Like, as an audience member, I can't really fault anybody. Then I go and do a show on the West Coast, and like the crowd's like really in it. But I think part of it is, we have a lot of talent here. We're a little like spoiled with it, and sometimes we don't notice it, just like I didn't notice it when I was a kid.
That's a
So I
good
think
point.
there's a lot of like factors to it. But yeah, I think I'm a really good singer, but I still, if Whitney Houston's a 10, I'm like a 6. You know what I mean? And people are like, don't say that about
trust me.
yourself, but
No, listen, I know exactly what you mean.
yeah, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, with yourself. And I think that's important. I think it's so important for us to do that. It's necessary for us to do that. We should never become complacent. We should never, ever, never. There's always something to learn. There's always a goal to reach. It was always.
Yeah.
So I read that you came off tour with Busty and the Bass. First of all, was that your first tour?
I've done a couple tours with a guy named RJD2, who was also
yeah.
in Philly.
Okay.
And he was living in Philly for a long time, but right after I met him, he ended up moving. But I have done some touring with him, and then this was the third tour I've done with Busty and the Bass from Montreal.
Do you enjoy touring?
Oh, what a heavy. This last tour was crazy. And it wasn't even that long, but it was just bad luck. Like, we just had some bad luck, and that was rough. But touring is a beautiful thing. The travel, even though it's like short, you don't really get to necessarily see the city that you're in. But it's fun. And then the crowds and the audiences, and
I love that. That's love.
yeah, it's a beautiful thing. But it's work, and I think people are always like, oh, you're on tour, like having fun. It's like it's uncomfortable at times.
Oh my God. Yes, it can be.
Yeah.
and especially, and it depends too at which stage of
Stardom or celebrity.
yes,
Yeah, because
yes,
I'm working, I'm working my way up.
yes.
And Busty is pretty good. RJ has like a good level of celebrity and gets treated well. But people talk about me doing my own tour or something, and I'm like, I'm not trying
Not
to
yet,
be.
really.
No, I need more because I see how they treat people. Like I can't be.
Oh, I know. People are just so rough, so harsh. So I've talked so much sharing with our family members so much about you, which I love to do, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do that. But tell us about your latest single, please.
So the song is called "Hair Down," and it's just really about the stress and the tension that can be in a relationship, and sometimes like it's not even like there's just tension for the sake of tension or something, or it's not really about like the fight that happened or the thing that happened in the fight. It's about all these other things. So it's just a song about just trying to calm your partner down. And the chorus is just like very like whispery, kind of in that like Maxwell falsetto sound, to contrast the strength of like the verses. And I do think that's something that I should like continue to do with my music, because I do have that contrast of like that soulful, strong sound and then that light like falsetto. And I think that's also another thing of like being strong to kind of like that strong voice is kind of like that strength that's needed sometimes to work something through, and then also like that softness, the tenderness. So I think the song's very much in that space for me, and yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's been in the works for like a little while, and as an independent artist, it's like releasing music can be so yeah, so strange. It's like, oh, what am I gonna do with this? What is it gonna do?
Where will it live? Where will it go?
Yeah,
Who will hear? Yeah.
so
So I'm curious to know are vocals well, in addition to vocals, I should say, is there another instrument that you showcase?
I don't perform any instrument. I whistle really well.
Really?
I feel like my whistle is low key like almost a world class instrument.
See, I am so mad that you are not feeling well, because I was going to ask you to
I
whistle.
really wanted
won't.
to sing.
Yeah, I won't.
Today.
No. Listen,
Yeah.
Because I overstand. You don't even have to say. No. We're not.
You know,
Listen,
now
when
you
I
have to
don't
have me
feel
come
well.
back. You have to have me come back.
Exactly. What are you talking about? Exactly. Exactly. Family. Hey there. Talking to each and every one of you. If you have just joined us, welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with Jordan Brown. We're talking about love. We're talking about life. We're talking about everything in between, everything under both umbrellas. I see our family members are sharing. Malcolm, I'm going to beat you with a wet noodle. Malcolm shares that he had catfish nuggets and mixed vegetables this weekend. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. And hey there. Neri Naram shares, let's go, Philly music kids. I love it. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Ms. Roslyn, she's checking in. Hi there. She's sending everybody their flowers while we can smell them. We're sending them right back to you, beautiful. And we appreciate those flowers. Ms. Lily shares that she agrees with you. She's seen a multitude of interviews from various artists who have confirmed that touring isn't all fun and games. It's hard, it's dedicated, and it's disciplined work. Yes, it is. OMG. Yes, it is. So Yolanda Benitez shares, Carol, he whistles really really well. Love the sounds. Love Jordan Brown. I love that. She shares Dallas is in the house. Well, hey there. Hey there, Dallas. Eric has a question, and I see it. I do see it, Eric. We're going to come back to it because what we're going to do right now is take just a short commercial break. Family, know that the phone lines are still open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. We're going to get to all of that when we come back right after this break. Stay with us.
Stay politically minded and informed with the Black Women's Leadership Council, Fridays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WURD, 900 a.m. and 96.1 FM. Progressive Black Talk Media. Streaming online at wordradio.com, on social, and on the Word Radio app.
Looking for a career in public health? PHMC, a nonprofit public health institute that employs over 3,000 employees in the Philadelphia region, Public Health Management Corporation will host their first virtual career fair of 2024, Wednesday, January 17th, 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. This job fair will highlight positions in special education services. Log on to mypublichealthcareer.org to register. mypublichealthcareer.org, Wednesday, January 17th, 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Find the right opportunity for you.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4Word member with the annual membership price of just $90 or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4Word member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We're talking with Jordan Brown, and he is sharing about life, about love, and about everything in between. So we have some questions from our family members, the first of which is from Eric. He shares, well, hello there, Jordan and Carol. Eric here. Welcome to the WURD family, Jordan. Do you feel you have an enhanced spiritual bond with God and loving life that blesses you with your musical talent?
I do, because that's where like music started for me, was in the church, like my first performing experiences in the church choir. And it does feel like something special, it's like, I think we used to have this competition in high school of like which talent was like naturally given and which one could you kind of be taught or like learn how to do.
Okay.
And people ask me like if I could show them how to sing or something, and I don't know how I sing. This just happened.
Oh my goodness! Thank you
So,
oh my goodness.
yeah, like there's, rhythm is another one. I think it's gonna be hard to teach rhythm. And we used to have like go back and forth about this, but I really do feel like vocal, like the voice, it's a physical thing, but then there just seems like there's something extra and special there. And I don't know if you heard this show called Avatar. It's like it was a cartoon. But there's like all these elemental benders. They have like different there's like earth, fire, wind, and water.
Oh, it was a movie.
It was a movie, but the TV show, it was a kid's show, is really good. But I say that I'm like an air bender. Like when we sing, we're like bending the air, we're like using the air. And that feels a little like spiritual and just something higher than like what we know. So I think the unknown is like wrapped up in there. There's something special about the voice and the effect it has on people.
I can agree with that. Definitely agree with that. I don't want you to get away without telling us about your upcoming listening party. I'm looking at the time, and you'll be saying we'll talk to you later, in a minute. Tell us about your upcoming listening party, please.
So I've never had like an in-person listening party, and I've never done an Instagram live video. So I'm doing both of those kind of tomorrow. And it's just going to be in my studio. I have like a recording space that I share with two friends. And I'm going to have a guitar player, my friend AJ, play a couple of my songs. I'm going to do like 5 songs, a cover, and this single. So yeah, just set some lights. Yeah,
come on now, hair down. You gotta let us know so we know what to look for.
Yeah,
hair down. That's right. All one word, hair down.
You know what? Yesterday or a couple days, I actually submitted it and I put a space. There should be a space.
Okay, so there's a space. Okay.
Great.
hair
Don't you
down.
think? What do you
All
think?
right. Okay. All right. So what's your IG? So we know how to
My
find you.
Instagram is by Jordan Brown. So just by Jordan Brown, which is, Jordan Brown's a very generic name. So I'm surprised I got that BY.
We love that. What another one of well, actually, how about that? That's a great question. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Love Bug. What time are you doing this? What time should we tune in?
7 p.m.
Eastern time?
7:30. Yes, Eastern time.
7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. And Nicole P is asking, Jordan, do you have a dream duet or artist with whom you always wanted to work?
Wow. That is such a good question. There are just artists from Philly that I really would love to work with just because we're from the same city. And like Tierra Whack would be an amazing person to work with. And we were kind of like running in some similar circles. But
She's
then
awesome.
she's amazing. But then if I was just thinking like straight R&B, I would say like her. Working with her would be really amazing.
Oh yeah, she's amazing too. I love so Tiara, I follow her. Well, I follow both of them. No, I do. I follow both of them on social media, but Tiara's little nephew, her little cousin, he's the cutest little thing.
You on her page a lot?
Oh, what? And he is hilarious.
Oh, really?
So Gary wants to know, do you know Marcus Bryant? And Gary, don't you yell at me. Typing in all caps. Do you know Marcus Bryant? Rated Art? Are you talking about Rated Art?
What is
this another Marcus Bryant? So I want to make sure I'm asking specifically. I see that we have one of our family members who is on the phone lines waiting to join the conversation. I'm so sorry. Did not see that. Hi there, Ron. Ron is on line 1. Hi there. Thank you for calling.
Yes, hi, Cal. Hello, sir. I want to talk to you, since you're talking about music, about the singer from South Philadelphia. And Dr. King talked about her. But before I do that, I want to thank the person who sent the braces out for my legs. I've been convalescing for 4 days. And I read the print, the inscriptions, follow the inscriptions on the braces. Oh, what I'll never forget that. And this is for someone to do something like that. I am deeply appreciative. I don't think I could ever pay back in any tangible things of life. But the God will make some kind of way that I will show my appreciation if it's no more than words. But, sir, thank you for being on the program here. I want to talk about one of the singers from South Philadelphia that Dr. King talked about. Her name was, I think she's from Wharton Street somewhere around, but let me get right to it. And that was Marian Anderson. And Marian Anderson, in 1939, she came to the podium at the Lincoln Memorial. She opened up an Ave Maria. This child can save me. Then she went on to talk about and sing God Bless America. Almighty God bless everything. Marian Anderson, then when she left at 39 and on her pilgrim, her life journey, her mother and father doing days work to get her sisters and them brothers where they need to go from South Philadelphia. I think her family attended Kennedy Temple Church there in South Philadelphia. I think it's on Fitzwater. Here's my point. When she written the first book, God Bless America, she traveled all over. And they was interviewing her, said, Marian Anderson, what was the most greatest moment in your life? Was the time you sung at Carnegie? She said, no, it wasn't that. Said, Marian Anderson, was it the time that you sung in front of the King of England? He predicted that a voice like yours only come once in a century. She said, no, it wasn't that. Was it the time when you stood at the Abbey, sung over top of the kings and queens bodies that have laid there? She said, no, it wasn't that. So Marian Anderson said, out of all the things you have done in your life, and the places you have sung in your life, said Marian Anderson, what was the greatest moment of your life? And I hope that other people said that what Marian Anderson said. And she said to the press at that time, she said, the most greatest part of my life, when I told my mother, you don't have to work anymore. All the days work that her mother did what she did where they need to go. We must never get. I heard a man on the radio today, sir, talking about he was the smartest one in the room. Saying these things, or people saying this, you could have not gotten where you gotten during that time frame coming out of that incarceration with our ancestors and people. We must never forget the elders, the people that have the institution. But God gave them a song. And because of these songs, Cal's one of them and many others, going around the world, going around singing songs to uplift the spirit. Blessed are these musicians. And that's why I say in South Philadelphia, just like other parts, but in particular South Philadelphia, we have beautiful, beautiful singers. If they should ever do, if you listen, Sherelle, you need to put someone, you and Kenny and y'all need to get together and put a museum up with all these musical positions that come out of there, Mr. Will and all them. I know my couple's running over. What would the day be like without a song? But before a song, there must be a kind deed. And with the kind deed. So I thank all the singers in this world, sir. I think the writer wrote, what would the day be like without a song? Say the road would have no end, the field of corn wouldn't grow. So I thank God that Dr. King dipped her name up, Marian Anderson, and she mentioned her mother name. And I'm glad that all Cal from Love and Life sung up in Harrisburg and come down in the lily of the valley with this beautiful soul music, always given. Yes, a song is very important. And we're going to be faced with some difficult times, but you can always go back to a song. They say songs have been known to lift heavy burdens. I bear witness to that. And that's where we need to be at these tedious times we want to go, that we're going to be faced with. Right. Continue to sing, Cal. You can't sing like a nightingale. You can't sing like any of those things. But God has given you and many other singers out of South Philly have given us a song. And I thank you. Thank you for being a song person that's right back in our community, singing, entertaining Philadelphia.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much, as always, for pouring into us positively, for being transparent and vulnerable. Just thank you. Thank you so much. Jordan, thank you. Thank you for he really is. He's an extraordinary human being. We have so much love for Ron. I've enjoyed our conversation, and I cannot thank you enough for coming to share your time, your energy, your spirit, your attention, and your knowledge with us. And I am so looking forward to my care package in the springtime. Okay.
We'll put some herbs in there and everything.
Yeah. What? Don't you threaten me with a good time. Family, listen, Jordan is doing his IG Live tomorrow. That is Tuesday, January 9th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. His IG is by Jordan Brown. That's BYJORDANBROWN. Listen. That's what we do here. We support, right? Because this is a city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. Jordan, will you come back to visit with us soon?
Yes,
Because I want this whistle. I want this whistle.
You're good. All you the whole thing.
Yay, family. Stay with me because we're going to take just a short commercial break, but we've got some things to talk about when we come back. Stay with us.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on Evening Words.
Speaking now with Felicia Shankin, the CEO and founder of the Philadelphia Women's Network Connection. She was named one of the top 50 most influential women in business by VIP Global magazine. How did you get into this work, sort of supporting Black businesswomen and solo women entrepreneurs of all, demographics who lack exposure in the marketplace?
It wasn't something that I had planned to do. I kind of got the vision in a Panera Bread one day, and I wanted to do something different in the city of Philadelphia. I was going to networking events, and I felt like the fun of the events was missing. It was a lot of going to and networking and passing business cards, but I wanted something where women could come and just be ourselves, let down our hair, just enjoy each other's company and just have fun, but also leading with content for our business to help us up and start, grow, and different things like that. So that's how the idea got started.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds this week from Evening Words on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Pennsylvanians are creating their own soundtrack. Thanks to PA Lottery Scratch-Offs, excitement's back. Pennies, nickels, dimes, or quarters, no matter your choice, scratching's always in order. With big top prizes and second chance drawings, thrills await. They're out there calling. If it's excitement you seek and you're looking for action, play the PA Lottery. And keep on scratching. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Join RAIN in the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
Stay connected on the go with the new and improved Word Radio app. Search Word Radio in your app store. Stream every show with increased clarity. Easily access Word TV, EcoWord, and Livelihood. Start or renew your 4-word membership and buy Word swag. Remember, Black Media Matters. Get the new and improved Word Radio app today. Available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Or baseball, anyone?
Most party fouls are pretty dumb, but if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Learn more at ultimatepartyfoul.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. That success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life, that is. So, family, I was sharing with you, we've got some things to talk about, right? Well, I've invited a good friend to talk with us about these things. His name is Terry Hodges. He is an actor, a comedian, and an entertainer. He's appeared in iconic movies such as Malcolm X and multiple TV shows, including The Cosby Show, Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam, BET's Comic View, like you name it, you've seen him in it. Okay, he's been a host of some iconic shows as well, but he's here to talk with us tonight about the world of Black entertainment. Are we ready for this conversation, family? I invite you to the conversation with none other than Terry Hodges. Well, hey there.
Hey, how you doing? I like that Billy D. Williams thing.
That clip.
Oh, I love Billy D. Williams. Love is nothing but the word of love. I like that.
I see you like, did y'all see? You know what? Everybody loves that clip. I love that clip, but that is iconic. It's legendary. It's legendary.
You know what's one is really legendary is when Billie Holiday is singing in the nightclub the very first time they meet, and he put the money out, handed to her, and he said, "You want my arm to fall off?" And all of the women in the theater started screaming back in the day.
Did they? Well, you know what? I don't doubt that, because Billy D, he was the man. He was that man. Yeah. He definitely was that man. So Terry, okay, I was sharing with our family members, we've got some things to talk about. There's so much going on right now in Black entertainment. I'm just going to throw out some names and let's get into some things. Family, now you know how we do. We are all having this conversation, but I thought we should just dig deep and see what we're all thinking, what's going on. We're talking about Katt Williams. We're talking about Kelly Price. We're talking about TD Jakes. We're talking about Jonathan Majors. We're talking about all of it in this hour. So Terry, you were sharing with me and you said, oh, you ain't ready for this conversation. So share with our family members, please, your thoughts on what's going on right now. We just got into 2024.
I think where do we start? Where you want to start? I mean,
we start wherever you want to start, because there's a lot to unpack.
Well, I think the most recent thing is the Katt Williams episodes. I don't know if I want to say episode or situation.
Well, no, Kelly is more recent. But it all took place in this past week.
Yes.
But I'm sorry to interject. Go right ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's kind of, he's not necessarily. Here's the thing. The problem that I have with Black America today, and especially with Black media, is that we airing out our dirty laundry to the world. And if you look at 99% of white media on social media, you don't see none of these stories. You don't see the TD Jakes story. You don't see none of the Puffy story. It's almost like we, against ourselves. Now, in terms of Puff Daddy and TD Jakes, whether it's true or not, I don't know. I don't think we should be the one, at least be the only race that's talking about it.
You think everybody should be talking about it?
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's at the end of the day, if your race is the only one that's castigizing your own race, it's like I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm trying to say, I just don't think that we should. Okay, perfect example. Jaguar Wright. I guess I'm pronouncing her name right. To me personally, enough is enough already. It's like every week is somebody that they throwing under the bus, and it's like, okay, is this person, is that person? Okay, then now, it's Will Smith, is this, is that. And by the way, I'm not saying that they're wrong and saying that these people didn't do what they are accused of doing, but I just think it's just too much when it comes to Black folks um really, really, we promoting it more than anybody. The same
Okay.
thing like even like with Bill Cosby, for example, up in the Playboy Mansion back in the '60s and the whole night. They've been doing that ever since the '30s. Ever since they opened up the Playboy Club, and the point being is the world knew about it. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, certain things. So now there's more Black people that criticize him more than white folks. For example, he gave $20 million to Morehouse College, and they took everything that was related to his name. They took it down, but they didn't get that $20 million back.
Family.
So even when you look at Katt Williams, there are things that Katt Williams said that I know for absolute fact is true. He's right about that. But to turn around and say, I like Earthquake, and I think he's funny, but then turn around and say, but he's illiterate, he can't read. That, to me, that was unnecessary. That was an unnecessary shot. To even talk about Chris Tucker and Epstein, when I just did my research to find out the plane that they actually was on Epstein's jet was actually going to Africa. It didn't go to that particular plane. It didn't go there. It went to Africa, So to throw all of these suggestions out and to throw all of these accusations, and I'm sticking up for Black folks. And what I mean by that is, whether they're right or wrong, I don't think we should be the ones that's parading it in the media like we're doing.
Well, who do you think should parade it in the media?
Nobody.
Okay. You're so the point you're making is that you don't feel like it should be paraded at all, that we're airing dirty laundry.
Right. And it's
Okay.
just like TD Jakes. Okay, when you go back and look at pastors from back in the day, the only thing I feel that he's guilty of now, when you look at pastors and you look at religion, and I don't think he had no business being at a P. Diddy party. From the pastors that I kind of grew up with, if anything, I would accuse him of being at the party. I don't think a man of the cloth should be hanging out at no P. Diddy party. But what he did or what he didn't do, nobody really knows.
Family, we're talking about some things. We're talking about Black entertainment. That's what we're talking about. And I'm inviting you to the conversation as I always do. We're talking about everything that's in the headlines right now. We're talking about Katt Williams and the responses from everybody to everything that he shared in his interview with Shannon Sharp, the podcast titled Club Shay Shay, to be exact. We're talking about Kelly Price and the comments that she shared. We're talking about TD Jakes. We're talking about Jonathan Majors and everybody else who is a person of color. Well, no, specifically Black. I will say that because in this past week we've had a lot that was shared, a lot that was shared in the media. So I'm just curious to know what you think and how you feel. I'm inviting you to join the conversation, family. If you'd like to give us a call, feel free to do that. You can do so by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free by dialing 1-866-361-0900. So I was sharing with you, Terry, when you and I had the conversation, that I'm challenged with understanding how we got here. I'm challenged with understanding how, and I mean that as a people, how we got to the point where what we're doing is pointing at the next person and pointing out what we believe or what we feel is wrong about that person. I'm
sorry.
curious to know. That's quite all right. I'm curious to know what we're doing. What are we doing? And it's not just. It is not just happening in entertainment. It's not. But I always tell you, I love us. I love us. I love us. And I always say that I feel like we no longer know who we are. We don't know our power, and we don't know who we are to one another. We don't know who we just don't know. We don't know who we are. And so I'm curious to know what you think and how you feel. We do have a family member who's joining us on the phone. On our phone lines. Nicole is calling from California on line 1. Hi there, Nicole. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi, Carol. How are you? Hi, Terry. How are you?
Hi.
Well, thank you.
Hi, Love and Life family. I just wanted to quickly call in. I live in Burbank and I'm in production, and just thinking about the comment that you made, Mr. Terry, like I agree with you to an extent, but even just from my own experience in the Black media space, it's just really disappointing sometimes, because sometimes we are our worst enemy, our own worst enemy. And, I think the whole age of like covering things up is a part of the problem. Just like in our families, like poor behavior, we were taught to cover it up, to cover up our family members and things like that. And I feel like that's the dynamic, that we're trying to like make a culture shift in the entertainment space to say, hey, this is not okay. Like, yes, it may have been going on for years and things like that, but what's wrong is wrong. And I think right now we're in a time where we need to call it out and expose it so things can get better for our future generations, because a lot of people didn't do that for us. I'm not an actress or anything like that, but honestly, and I'll be fully transparent, I've worked on, Black sets and, and non-Black sets, and I've had the worst experiences with our own people in our own community. And, and it's disappointing because I was excited, to work with our team and to see people that look like me, because you don't get that often. But you get the worst type of experience. And I think that's something, excuse me, that even Taraji P. Henson even spoke to, in terms of like, hey, you're thinking you're on a set, although it's Warner Brothers that the issue is really with, but you're on the set with, The Color Purple, which is an iconic Black film, but you're not getting the bare minimum and things like that. And so it's like, do you speak on it to change it, and expose it, or do you stay quiet? With Bill Cosby, do you speak on it to change the behavior, to change that culture, or do you just be quiet and, get along just to get along? You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you really do to make things better? And I think that's where we're in a time now. We're trying to make things better. We're not just trying to do what we need to do. We have to make it better now. So that's all I have to say.
No, thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much for that comment. Terry, go right ahead. I'm sorry.
Nicole, I think you are 100% correct. I can't go against what you said. I think you're right in what you're saying. I think that we should, before we put a lot of information out there, we should thoroughly know what's right and what's wrong. For example, when Katt Williams talks about Kevin Hart being a plant and that he just came out to California, well, that's not true. And if you go back to the history of comedians, all the way back from Dick Gregory to Richard Pryor to Red Fox and the whole nine, you make names for yourself in Philadelphia, New York, or where you are, and you become so popular that California sends for you and you go out there. And Kevin Hart was one of those people that a lot of people don't know. He was brilliant and became a star through the internet first. And once he had like millions and millions of followers through the internet, so by the time he did go to California, he already had 5 or 6 million followers on the internet. He was already an internet so-called, sensation. So it wasn't like he just went out there and he was a nobody, and next thing you know, he had all this stuff set up for him. No, he was so brilliant with the internet that when he did movies and televisions, for the publicity, they had to pay him to use his followers for the advertising.
I did not know
But if
that.
you listen to Katt, it's like, oh, he just came out there and he just a plant and he the Illuminati or whatever you want to say. And I'm a Katt Williams fan, and like I say, there's things that he said about Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley that I personally know is true. So it ain't
Okay.
like I'm going against Katt. I know for a fact that what he said about Steve is true. I know, and then you can look at the stuff that even the joke about Cedric the Entertainer, about me being a comedian, I can see that Cedric stole that joke.
Oh, wow. Wow. I do want to go back to our phone lines. We have another family member. James is calling from North Philly on line 2. Hi, James. Welcome to the conversation.
Good evening. I would like to say that we have to realize that these entertainers, Katt Williams, Kevin Hart, all the entertainers, African American, who are at the forefront. Now we got to remember. I'm gonna keep it short. They are known all over the world. So anything that is reflected in a negative manner across our African American entertainers affects the mind. What we have to do is come together.
Simply put. Simply put. James, thank you for that. We have to come together.
I love you all. And now remember, controversy is money in this game.
It is. It is that. It definitely is that. Well, listen.
I love you all.
James, we have love for you as well. Family, here we are. The conversation has begun. We're talking about Black entertainment, the world of Black entertainment. That's what we're talking about. Welcome. If you have just joined us, you're tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We are talking with actor, comedian, and entertainer Terry Hodges. In this hour, it's a conversation that we're all vested in because we're talking about this is life. This is life. This is us. We're talking about us right now. I do want to share that the beautiful Shirley Bryant is joining us from Florida, and she sends love to the family. We send some right back to you. Raphael Suleiman is joining us as well. He says, good evening, family. Good evening to you as well. And Joey Parham, he's sharing this is an awesome interview. Thank you, Joey. Thank you so much for that. So happy to have you join us. Malcolm is sharing that he's still watching the Katt Williams interview in bits and pieces, and it is so messy so far. Yeah, oh, y'all, family. I'll tell you. Well, Eric has a comment. He shares, good evening and welcome, Mr. Hodges. I think that sometimes we as Black people tend to pull each other down, just like crabs. Katt is good at what he does, but whether he's right or wrong, real or wretched, he shouldn't stir the pot so much. Better to keep friends than to create new enemies. Henry comments, what happens in the house stays in the house. Divide and conquer. How true is it about Black men to get ahead by wearing a dress? And do you think Hollywood makes Black men feminine and Black women angry on these reality shows? Well, you know what? That's a question we're going to address when we come back from a commercial break. Family, it's time for us to take just a short break, but we're coming right back. Know that the phone lines are still open. You know we're welcoming you to this conversation, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. Henry, we're going to talk about that when we come back. And family, I see some other comments too. I'm going to share those as well. Stay with us though, because we're coming right back.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. Word's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. The Chambers of Commerce for Greater Philadelphia is hiring a research analyst. Penn Community Bank is hiring a customer service representative. For more information on these jobs and others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative, brought to you by Word Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media.
For more than a decade, Comcast has been committed to bridging the digital divide in Philadelphia and across the country. From connecting people to the internet to opening doors for the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and storytellers, they are helping to create a future that benefits generations to come. Now, Comcast is expanding their efforts through Project Up, their comprehensive initiative to help build a future of unlimited possibilities. Backed by a $1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program, and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up.
Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
Tune in to EcoWord Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 11 a.m. for the PA Lottery EcoWord Tip of the Day. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
At Donors Choose, we want students and teachers to have the tools they need for a great education. And now, more than ever, they need your support. Learn more at donorschoose.org.
Donors Choose. Support a classroom.
Build a future. We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We are talking with Terry Hodges, actor, comedian, and entertainer. And we're talking about the world of Black entertainment. There's a lot that has been shared in the past week. There's a lot that has taken place, I will say that, in the past week, with a lot of comments made by some of our more well-known entertainers. And I'm just curious to know, I'm opening the door to the conversation because I'm curious to know what you think and how you feel about that. I am going to go to our socials in a moment, but one of our family members is on the phone line waiting to join the conversation. Karen from North Philly is on line one. Hi there. Thank you so much for calling.
Hi, Carol. I want you to know I'm always listening. I rarely look up to call. And I love your voice.
Oh.
You have a magnetic voice made for radio broadcast, actually. And it's going to take you a lot of places. Mr. Terry,
Yeah.
what I don't understand, okay, someone called me up Saturday because I know I'm a prude and I'm a researcher and I never spend time looking at TV. I haven't owned a TV in 18 to 20 years. So he says to me, the gentleman says, Karen, did you hear about T.D. Jakes? And I said, what? He said, did you hear about it? I was like, no, what is the problem? You know, and I made a euphemism. And he says, no, I'm not going to say. You go on the internet and find it. So when I want to find something about people, I go to TikTok. Not to give them any scrub, but they should be buying time on your station.
Mm-hmm.
And what I saw, I'll just snatch a term from, what's his name? Don't Believe Your Lying Eyes. I could not believe it. It's as if Terry, these people don't know people have video cameras on them at all times. So you can be sent. There was at least 20 feeds of different relationships that he was in at Diddy's party.
Wow.
And the behavior and the body language. I mean, okay, what you do in your privacy, all preachers have fall short. We all fall short in our behavior at times. But you don't want that on video. I wouldn't even want it on video, and I'm not even a preacher. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when in a world that's full of voyeurs and video access, are these people on a substance or in a spell or something? They don't realize they're being recorded? You got to see it for yourself, because I got to tell you something. I was not prepared. My seatbelt had not been fastened, and I hadn't taken any medicine that day. But it's outrageous that responsible career-seeking adults, whether it's in the church or on the stage, could perform that way and be captured and published. You know what I'm saying? Now, what's the...
I'm sorry, you go ahead.
What do you say to this?
I was saying that if you heard the beginning of the show, that was one of the things that I said, that he had no business being in that setting in terms of being a man of the cloth.
I heard you say that. But there's like 25 different scenes. It wasn't all in the same clothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he changed his clothes between the different photos and videos. So I'm saying to you, even the way they behaved in front of his parishioners when Tyler Perry gave him the $1 million. You know about that?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then you've seen what I saw then, I imagine, right?
Yeah, I've seen exactly what you're saying. I think I kind of need to clear myself up. I've been talking to my daughter, and she brought up a good point. And I guess what I'm really trying to say is, I see, and you guys help me, because that doesn't make me to be right what I'm getting ready to say, but I don't see a lot of other races that put their dirty laundry out like we're doing right now. It's just every time you turn around, it's somebody different, is this, is that. And it's like with this social media thing, it's like you can go, me and Carol talked about it earlier, you can go on a lot of these white social medias and you don't see none of this, but it's blasted. Katt Williams got, last time I knew, it was like either 15 to 16 million, and I understand more than that now, of people talking about it. You know, and majority of them probably Black.
And I haven't seen Katt Williams' interview yet, but I will say, to me, all this, all the way back to, who was the first one? O.J. Simpson. All the way back to there, every 2 or 3 years, I call it modern day lynchings. That's what I call it.
Exactly. There's no Black man in the last 40 years that white America loved more than O.J. Simpson, Bill Cosby, and Michael Jackson. And look what they did to them. James Brown, yeah, James Brown.
Yeah, Michael, yeah, all of them. You know, in some area, it was nefarious the way. And you know what? Maybe we as a people need to petition that this is stopped, because we know who controls the networks. It's not us. We don't.
Yeah, but we the ones that doing all the talking, though. That's the thing that hurts me, is that we are. When I look at Katt Williams,
that I'm discussing this, is that hurtful? That I'm even bringing.
Oh, no. This is encouragement. You know, yeah, this is encouragement, because we have to. When I say talk, well, let me put it in a better word. And you're not gossiping; we're just having a conversation. When you look at the gossip, every time you turn around, Jaguar Wright, she's talking about this person, that person, and
look
this
at her
not
song. I mean, look at her song. What was that song about? I'll bust your windows out. I mean, what do you expect?
No, that was actually another artist. That was Jasmine Sullivan. But
yeah. Oh, that was Jaguar. Okay.
No.
Sorry, no, that wasn't
included. Well, I've said enough, but I do believe that we need to petition the networks. We need to show a strong, because a lot of people were like me. They don't know anything about it right now. There's a lot of people who have no clue what we're talking about.
Okay, let me say this. And that's exactly why I'm saying, if you put something out there, let it be the truth, because people just see this stuff and they hear it and they just go with it. And it don't necessarily be true. A lot of it's true. And I'm not talking about TD Jakes and all that, but when you talk about Katt Williams and the stuff that he talked about, there's a lot of stuff that he said that's true, but there's a lot of that's not true, but it's out there now.
And to that point, these entertainers that we mentioned, this stuff has been shared on social media. So this is the information highway. All of this stuff has been shared on the internet, where you can put anything on the internet and not be held accountable. That's the world in which we live. But that's the question that I have. Like, what do we do? What do we do? This is the information highway about which we speak. And Karen, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you. Thank you very much for calling and for joining the conversation. Family, I've invited you to do the same. Know that you are welcome to join this conversation. We're just talking. We're just sharing. I was going to ask a question, but I'm not. I want to share what our family members are saying and what they're sharing. Henry, we're going to get back to the statement you made about Black men wearing dresses, but I want to make sure that our other family members are acknowledged as well. Nasir shares, we Black people have to stop being like crabs in a barrel, and we must learn to lift each other up, period. Just period. Ms. Joanne Dorman is joining us, and she's sending peace and blessings to everybody. Malcolm shares, I believe that thing about the dresses. This whole society is all about emasculating the Black man. And Chip is just sharing that he's sending love. He is sending love. Nicole follows up her phone call with a question. Mr. Terry, what do you think is a better solution to some of the issues that Katt Williams mentioned, specifically stealing jokes and taking shortcuts in comedy?
Well, he's right about that. There's a lot of people that steal jokes and they get to that certain success. Like, for example, Mark Curry. If you look at the things that Mark Curry did, Steve followed him. Steve mirrored him. As a matter of fact, Steve Harvey called me one day. He said, "Hey man, I need a ride to the Apollo Theater." He was at Kennedy Airport and he asked me, could he stay at my house? And I told him yes. And I took him to the Apollo Theater to meet with Mark Curry. And he met with Mark and he called me on the phone. He said, "Hey, Mark Curry got me a hotel room. I won't need to stay with you." I said, "Okay, cool." Mark was hosting Showtime at the Apollo at that time. Right after that, guess who the next host was? Steve Harvey. So Mark was there for Steve Harvey. I personally know that happened because I was there. So I think what hurt, and I don't know this for a fact, but I think what hurts people like Mark Curry, and they come out and talk about it, is that when you help somebody like Steve and these people, and they have enormous success, and don't reach back and help you, because after hanging with Mr. Cooper, Mark Curry fell on extreme hard times. And it wasn't until recently, over the last couple of years, I say the last 2 years to be exact, that Katt Williams helped him out and put him out on tour with him, and he's been able to, bounce back on his feet. But I know for a fact that Mark Curry was there for him.
So, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. Let me tell you, I'm sorry for interrupting.
No,
There's so
go
much
right
I want
ahead.
to talk about. There's so much.
No, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So, I went to Dallas, Texas. Steve Harvey had a comedy club in Dallas, Texas called Buku Rays. So, I used to go down there and perform. It's in Dallas, and the day that Steve Harvey got the phone call that he was going to be the new host of Showtime at the Apollo, I was with him that day. Okay. 6 months before that, him and his wife, his second wife, they had visited me in New York, and it was her birthday. They used to have a play called Diary of a Black Man. My cousin was the producer of that play. I took them to the play. After that, I took them to a concert with the OJs and the Whispers. They had never been in New York before. To this day now, he tells people that's one of the best times he ever had in New York. So when he got to be the host of Showtime at the Apollo, like I said, I was with him. When I went to the Apollo Theater to see him host the show, I was there because I used to do the warm-ups for the show. Come out, let the people know who's on the show, the whole nine. I didn't know till 30 years later, last year, when I was watching how he talks about his motivational speeches, how he was homeless and this, that, and the other. I didn't know all this time because he had acted real strange and funny when I went to see him at the Apollo, and his wife didn't even speak to me.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know till last year when he was talking. He said when he got to the Apollo, he told them he didn't want the warm-up act on the show, which was me. And it's like that's it. So I know how, and I'm gonna say it. I know how cruddy he can be, even with the situation with Bernie Mac. I know because I've experienced it.
So here's the thing. As I'm listening to you share your personal experiences, as we've been listening to others share, have you had a conversation with Steve? Here I am. My challenge with all of this is how we will talk amongst one another. We will talk with the mass, we will talk with others. But do we address it with the person with whom we have the issue? That's the biggest challenge for me. I believe we should all be held accountable for our actions, but I believe that in order to get past whatever the experience or the issue is, that we need to address it with the individual with whom it involves. What I want to do, though, if you give me one moment. No. Go right ahead. Go ahead, Terry. I'm sorry.
Well, here's my thing, because my thing is this. I never talked to him about it because, mind you, I didn't find out till a year ago. This was 30 years ago. I didn't find out till he was doing one of his motivational speeches.
Okay.
But I'm saying it now because we're having a dialogue, but I never would go into the public. I mean, I'm on the public now, but I'm never the type of person that's going to air it out to the whole world. I mean, I'm doing it now, but because we're talking. But there's certain things like you say, you handle, public. There's a lot of issues that I've had in show business. And the young lady who called the first time, she was correct about. I mean, I used to do the Apollo Theater, and I hosted all of the shows at the Apollo Theater. I would get paid 2 weeks after the show was over with. When I started doing Radio City Music Hall, the Beacon Theater, Westbury Music Fair, started doing all of the white theaters, I was getting paid 50% of the money before I did the show, and the other 50% of the money right before I went on stage. So, I've always, and I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it because she was right. There have been times I've been treated 100 times better with white folks than my own kind. As a matter of fact, if you go ahead.
I want to ask you in response to the question that she asked. What do you think? What do you think is a better solution? She was asking, what do you think is a better solution to some of the issues that Katt mentioned on the podcast?
Evidently, he doesn't have somebody around him to say, "Hey, don't do this," or "Don't do this," or "Don't do that." One of the things that's hurting the Black community in America today is that there is no Black community. When we were growing up, you had if you had two brothers, you didn't have two brothers in the Black community. You had 20 brothers because the whole neighborhood was a community. If you cursed somebody out 3 blocks away, before you even got home, your parents knew that you were cursing. We don't have you live next door to a Black person, but that's and you might not even know the Black person that you live next door to. So one of the things, the leadership, there's no leadership in the community anymore. A lot of things I learned how to carry a girl.
I was about to say, you just talked about our one of our most widely known bishops out at the parties. So
at the party, when I was growing up, the preachers that I knew would never be at no party. You wasn't gonna never see no preacher at no disco or none of that. I knew how to treat a lady. I knew how to walk. The lady walk on the inside of the sidewalk. I walk on the outside of the sidewalk. When I was in elementary school, you was happy if a girl let you carry her books home.
Well, we are so far. And that's to what we're speaking. We're so far from that. We're living in a different day and age. I want to interject for just one moment, Terry. Family, hi there. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome if you have just joined us. You're tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. We're talking about the world of Black entertainment. That's what we're talking about. In the event you are unfamiliar, there have been a lot of our entertainers that have voiced several things They've shared a lot on social media in the past week. We came into 2024 just with a bang, quite honestly. And we're talking about it. That's what we're doing. So I'm inviting you to the conversation as always, but especially on tonight because I want to know what you think and how you feel. Um, know that the phone lines are open. And feel free to continue to comment on our socials. But whatever you do, stay with us because we're coming right back.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
What's it take to be a mentor with big brothers, big sisters? It takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, that's 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big. To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bebignow.org.
As you age, you may have questions about finding transportation, healthy meals, or other services around your home and in your community. And the Elder Care Locator has the answers at 1-800-677-1116. Our caring advisors can connect you to trustworthy local experts and the support you need to age well at home. Real people, real assistance, and real connections are just a phone call away with the Elder Care Locator. 1-800-677-1116.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Family, I see your comments. Harold shares he is completely done with Katt Williams. He said that's it. That's it for him. That's enough. He didn't like his last special on Netflix, and he shares that he believes that Katt is bitter and jealous. And Nicole shares that she believes that our people are speaking out now because we disrespect each other. We hurt our own community, all without any resolve. So, do they just shut up and sing or stand up and speak up? It's interesting. Eric shares, you're right, Terry. Others leave that to TMZ, and we as Black people sprint to social media and we sling mud on our own people for views, money, and exposure. And Satan is just sitting back reveling in our actions. That's interesting. Eric shares, Flip Wilson did it in the 60s and he made it funny, shocking as well, but nowadays it's deemed as a strong sense of Black buffoonery. Flip Wilson maybe had to do it, yes. It can be funny, however, nowadays it's not really necessary. Henry shares, as a response to the conversation about TD Jakes, the Bible says, avoid the very appearance of sin. So he too believes that TD Jakes should not be in these parties. And he says, yeah, Mark had his own show, then Steve had his show. That's from Harry Wims, who follows that up with saying, this is better than TMZ. Well, thank you for that. We do appreciate that. So here we are. We're talking about the world of Black entertainment, because if you've And if you've seen any bit of social media in the past week, there's a lot that has taken place, a lot that is going on. Katt Williams, Kelly Price, TD Jakes, Jonathan Majors, just to name a few. There's just stuff that has been said, just stuff that is going on. And it's just, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. Karen, Spotted Eagle shares solution. Motown and Gamble and Huff coached, groomed, and watched out for entertainers. That changed with Don King and Mike Tyson. We need to insist our entertainers go back to what works versus what does not. Wow. Sherry, cousin, hey there, cuz, in Atlanta shares, we need to stop spreading that rhetoric about the Black community. My community is predominantly Black with educated, hardworking, caring families with mothers and fathers. We cannot carry the entire Black race, but I live in a Black village. I love that we're talking about this. I do. I love that we are talking about this because I think it's so necessary and I think it's so important. I want to go back to Nicole's, the message that Nicole shared. Terry, what do you believe? What do you believe? What do you feel about this? I believe that our people are speaking out now because we disrespect each other, hurt our own community, all without to any resolve. She's asking all of us, so do they just shut up and sing or stand up and speak up?
Well, I think people should be called out on what they're doing. I just think that it's a thin line for me when a lot of people are calling people out with no facts and just to be calling people out. You know, that's a lot of that. Because if you look at Katt Williams interview, 45% of it ain't true. Maybe 55% of it is true. Even when you talk about Tiffany Haddish, okay, you up here talking about, oh, you can't remember a joke that Tiffany Haddish ever said, and you throwing mud on Tiffany Haddish, but you the same guy who put her on her first tour. The first major tour she ever did was with Katt Williams. He brought her out on tour before Road Trip. So, but now you turn it around. She's had success. She's doing this. She's doing. Now you turn it around, dogging her out.
So, okay. So what's the solution? What is the solution here that we, and what is the solution? Because I feel like we're doing, in this conversation, we're beginning to do the same thing. We're talking about,
I agree.
You know, what we're doing wrong.
That's when I was getting at when I was talking about the community. I mean, we as a people, I don't care what nobody said, we not where we were. We not where we were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when we had a Black community where people looked out for it. And there were certain things you could say, certain things you couldn't say, certain things you could do, certain things. We don't have the leadership anymore. There's no leadership. I don't see. And the leadership necessarily didn't come from Martin Luther King or Malcolm X. The leadership came from our own parents and our grandparents. I'm 60. I'll be 67 years old.
I want to interject because we're getting close to the end of the show. But in saying that statement, so what you're saying is, number one, that we need to do better. We don't have leadership, is what you're saying.
Right.
So
here's something I want to say that's very important.
Well, go ahead. I'll come back to it.
I'm 60. I'll be 67 years old. I've been in show business 35 years. I've never smoked, never drank, never been high a day in my life. You know why? Because the junkies on the street corners used to tell me, little boy, I don't never want to see you doing this. Don't never do that. Even the junkies and the winos, when I grew up, was encouraging you not to live that life.
So same here. But the question I'm asking is, what do we do? How do we do better? What do we do from here? I have that same experience. I've shared that with our family members too. And I'm in agreement with you. It's a different world. So we're in agreement. We're all in agreement on that. It's a different world right now. So how do we get back to that? What do we do? And I'm not
Somehow,
saying don't misunderstand me, because I'm not saying that you're the oracle or that you're the,
oh
you have
no,
the answer
I'm
for. I'm
far
not.
from being an
I
oracle.
want to say that, and because I'm asking you the question specifically, so I want to make it clear that, to you and to our family members, that I'm not saying that you have the, the answers and you're the end all
No,
be all, but I'm curious to know your opinion.
I just think somehow we got to come back to the community. We got to come back
Mhm.
to love each other more. We got to come back. We have, and more so now than ever before, because with all of the immigrants coming in and we down on, on the food chain,
You
black
mean we as
people,
black people are
yeah, not
lower on
just
the
on,
food chain?
yeah, we on the bottom, and we don't, right now in America, we have nowhere to go but up.
Mm.
And we need to come together and love each other. When you look at the Black Panther Party, when you look at Malcolm X, when you look at Martin Luther King, when you look at our parents, our grandparents,
Mhm,
our
mhm.
grandfathers who went to work every day, did this and did, we
Well,
were a family, we were
we
together.
were. So do you see that happening? I'm with
It
you on
can
that.
have, okay, I'm hoping and praying that we can get back to that, because that is the only answer, is us saving us.
Now, I'm in agreement with that too, but I'm asking you for your personal opinion. Do you think we will? You think we can get there? I'm
Yes.
hopeful and I'm prayerful
Yes.
too. You think we
Yes.
can?
I think
Okay. Mhm.
conversations like this helps it. Putting it
Mhm,
out there,
mhm,
and the beautiful thing that like what you said is, I'm not the oracle. I don't know. It's just my opinion. But I think
mhm,
conversations like this is exactly what we need. And
mhm.
there's no, the leadership in the black is going to come from everybody. It's not going to be just one person.
Yeah, well, like you said, Terry, you made a very poignant statement. You were talking about the black family. We've gotten so far away from black families. We've gotten so far away. I don't know that I've even heard a young adult even say the word matriarch or patriarch.
Right.
When you talk about leadership, there's a lineage. And in our families, we talk about, well, we what we learned, it was passed down. It was passed down. It was passed down. And unfortunately, what's being shared now is totally different from the principles and the ideals that were shared with us and that was passed down to us, to our generation. So I'm hopeful, I'm prayerful, but I'm also fearful at the same time. I'm not living in fear, but I do have challenges when we have moments like this, or a week like the week we just had, because I was sharing earlier that it's challenging to me uh, to understand why we feel it necessary to run to social media. I'm not saying that we should not share how we feel. That is not what I'm saying. I want to be clear, family. What I'm saying is the way we choose to do it. I feel like we've got to do better in that regard, because I feel like we had better come together. We
We
had
better.
better come together, but we need to learn how to talk to one another. We need to learn how to talk to each other. I need to learn how to come to you and say, Terry, listen, I need to have a conversation with you, and it's really sensitive for me, and it may very well be sensitive to you, but I need to share with you how I'm feeling. I need to know how to do that. We need to know how to do that. We need to learn how to do that with one another. Now, you're my friend. We've been friends for years, so I've already done that with you. But but
Right. Right.
but we need to do that as a people, family. I don't want to say goodnight to you, but that time has come. That time has come. Terry, will you come back and visit with us and talk some more
I
about the
would love
world
to.
and
I would
everything?
love to.
You
And thank
would.
everybody for listening. And like I said, it doesn't make me right. It's just my opinion. And I do feel that we can come together like we did. Our grandparents did it, and they had nothing.
They had less than we did. They didn't have
They
nothing. They
had
had
love
less.
and they had
Yeah,
dignity.
they had other things. They had less than we did. Yeah, but
Right.
they had a lot, because we wouldn't be here if they didn't have anything. But
Right.
I overstand with the point you're making. I understand. Family, 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 family. Here we are. Praise God. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. As we wrap tonight's episode, thank you. Just thank you to each and every one of you for your continued support of love and life. I just love the love, no matter how you share it, I love the love. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate you. Thank you to our callers and to those who contributed via our socials as well. To our guests, Terry, thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your space, your spirit, your knowledge. We want more stories, so you have to come back. Once again, happy birthday to all of our love bugs that are celebrating a birthday, especially on today. To the entire Word family, thank you, especially Niall and Nick for all that you do. Once again, family, for those of you whose hearts are heavy, just know that we're sending you extra love and extra hugs on behalf of your entire tribe and village right here, because you are not alone. You hear me? You are not. Family, remember, we're all in this together. So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Please, please know that I love you, but God loves you so much more. Have a great rest of your night, and be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD. Have a good night, family. I love you.